Hey guys, what's going on? Sherman here. As you can see by the title, I'm having a knife and stuff sale. So nothing spectacular, but I was going through my knife storage bin and just taking a look at what I had, just taking a look at all my knives and whatnot, and I came across these knives and I'm really not using them. There's nothing wrong with any one of these knives in particular. It's just that I'm not using them, and if they can go to somebody who would use them, then it'd be fantastic. So nothing great here. I'm not selling any hinderers or any kind of customs or anything like that. These are just kind of cheaper knives, and like I said, if they can go to somebody who would use them, that'd be great. All right, so first of all, I only accept PayPal, and I'll only ship inside the continental United States. Reasons being is customs and legality in other countries. And shipping outside the United States, and I just don't want to have to fool with it. So I'm sorry, guys, if I have a lot of UK viewers, so I'm sorry about that. And of course, this one's obvious. I cannot sell a knife to anybody under the age of 18. That's against the law. So, if you are underage, have parental consent somehow if you want to purchase one of these. All right, first of all, Boker Subcom. This is the Boker Subcom Titan. Full titanium frame lock. Super smooth. I love it when you fail after you say it's smooth. Super smooth. 440C steel blade, because there's a Boker plus knife. There we go. Nice edge. It's still really sharp. Titanium scale that I custom stone washed. And titanium frame lock. Pocket clip has a tiny bit of wear, and I don't know if the light will get it, right there, that little tiny scratch at the end of the blade. And then just a little orange lanyard that I've had on there. $30 shipped on that, and I have the box for it with the paperwork. If that means anything to you guys. Next, whoops, is broken. Next is actually the only Spyderco sprint run that I have, and that is the sprint run white FRN Dragonfly. Great little knife. The only reason I'm selling this one is because I have a black one with full serrated blade, and I think that's really handy for a small knife. I have a bunch of small knives, but this one, just being plain edge. I love plain edge. It's just, I think for a knife this size, that little fully serrated Dragonfly is going to serve me a little bit better than this one. So, like I said, if it can go to somebody, like I said, maybe if you're a collector, this would be worth something to you, because, like I said, it's a sprint run. They haven't made these for many years. They had a white FRN, Delica, Endura, this, and I want to say they also made a white native. I'm not sure. But this is also an older generation where the pocket clips were integral. If it will focus. Sorry, guys. Anyway, you can see that it's an integrated pocket clip. VG10 steel. Great knife. Like I said, nothing wrong with it. Just don't use it. So I'm thinking maybe $40 shipped on that. You guys can haggle a little bit if you want. Just don't try to just lowball me. Next is the Mantis. I think it's called the MK2. This is the Warren Thomas collaboration. I have a review on this knife. It has the white G100 scales. It's actually the frame. The whole knife's just that G10-like material. Osate steel blade, chisel ground. Like I said, it is a friction folder. Nothing really wrong with this knife in particular. If you see my review, it does have a few quirks. The only blemishes are on these bolts. If thing will focus. There we go. A few blemishes where I actually tried to take the knife apart. You cannot. But if you guys I like the way it looks. But here again, I just don't use it. Really sharp. Very comfortable, surprisingly enough. $20 shipped on that. Next is the Benchmade Mini Ambush, plain edge. This knife was in Benchmade's Red Class line, so this knife's been discontinued for many years. Benchmade hasn't had a Red Class in a while. Has kind of like SOG's arc lock. It functions the same way. Super smooth. No, it's not assisted at all. It's just the mechanism makes it really easy to flick open. A lot easier than even the axis lock. Because you go to open it, stops right there. And that's almost like your detent. And just flies out. So super smooth. Very sharp. Carried this knife and used it once. The blade has absolutely no blemishes. Pat number Taiwan, AUS 8. Mel Purdue design. Nice drop point. So, nice knife. Like I said, I never carried it much because at that point in time I didn't like the smaller knives. As the handle is the same material the grip talions are made of. The only blemish on it is right there by the pocket clip, just from storage. It's just that cheap painted finish. There you go. $40 shipped for this. Like I said, it's discontinued. They were about $50 new. Great knife. I do not have the box with that or anything, unfortunately. So if you guys are okay with that. Last but not least for the knives, it's just a standard Kershaw Scallion. Black FRN, bead blasted blade. Now if you're a collector, this will mean something to you. This is when they still did the tang stamps for the date. And come on. Come on. Sorry guys, this is so unprofessional. I hate it that my camera does this. I apologize for that. Anyway, it says November 2006, November 06. So since my camera won't focus. Anyway, sorry about that guys. But it's November 06, so that means that this is a 13C26 steel version, which isn't bad. I honestly cannot tell the difference at all between 13C26 and 14C28, which they use now. But for as long as I've had this knife, I've had it since about 2007. For as long as I've had it, I'm really surprised the torsion bar still works, but it still works perfect. It's a great little knife. No lockup issues. I've never carried this actually, because I have a leak. I ended up liking the leak more than this knife, so I carried the leak and not this one. And I have a black version of this also with the aluminum scales, and I didn't need both, so I'm just going to sell this one. So $25 shipped on that. And that's it for the knives. This item's kind of odd, but there might be somebody who wants it. I just figured I'd show it. The reason I'm thinking of selling this is a spare frame for the ZT-0560 and 561s. And this is the one that I had on my 560 and took off when ZT sent me the full replacement. And the replacement that also doesn't work. I'm not bitter towards this knife. Anyway, the only problem with it, as you can see, my camera wanting to not focus, has a wear mark right there. If you can see the glimmer of light, if my camera will focus. Anyway, it has a wear mark right there. You might be able to see it. You might not, because my camera's acting up right now. If you had a carbonizer or know somebody who carbonizes, that should fix that with no problem. It's just I don't have one, and I don't know anybody who does, and I really don't feel like having this sent off to have carbonized. It's just, it's not worth the hassle to me. But anyway, my thinking with this is that somebody who could get that and carbonize it, and then have it anodized, and you could have interchangeable scales for your ZT-0560 or 561. So you could have two different anodized ones and then just swap them out. Somebody who does custom work. Like I said, I don't, and it wouldn't be worth it to me to have it done. It also has a little blem right there by the detent ball. A little wear spot. Here again, somebody who does carbonizing could fix it. So anyway, I apologize for my camera, guys. It's not something I plan. It's not something I plan for my camera to not focus. But anyway, I can ship it with a pocket clip if you want, and of course it'll have the lock bar stabilizer. So I'm really not sure what to sell this at if you're interested. But if you're interested, give me a recommendation or give me a suggestion. Just throw a price at me. But here again, don't lowball me because this is probably worth about $60 in itself. Even though it has wear that will result in lockup failure. I shouldn't say failure, but it will result in lock rock. So, like I said, just shoot me a price. I just want to try to get rid of it, make a little money off of it at least, give it to somebody who can actually use it, because it's just been sitting in my knife drawer. Last but not least, this is just kind of a random item. This is something I made a little bit ago. If you're following me on Instagram, you would have seen it. It is a G10 lanyard bead that I made and polished. Orange G10. Let's see if I can actually get my camera to focus on it. A little bit. Anyway, it's kind of hard to see. It almost looks red in this lighting, but it is actually orange, and it is polished. And you can buy it with this lanyard, or you can just buy the bead. I just put it on this lanyard as a demonstration for Instagram. $20 shipped with a lanyard, I'm thinking. So if you guys are interested in that, let me know. Here again, you can haggle with any of these prices if you want. Just, suggest a price. And I'll let you know if it sounds good to me or not. So, yeah. Like I said, nothing special here, guys. Just some things I wasn't using and thought maybe somebody might want one of these. Alright, guys. I hope you have a great rest of your weekend. Stay safe, stay sharp, and God bless. Sherman614. Peace.